All right, guys, good morning. Well, as you can see, we got our parts washer repaired and did a little upgrade. This is a bigger pump than what was on there. Oh, so dog wants in. Come on. Come on. Get in here. Go on. Get inside. All right, sorry about that. So this is the larger pump than came out of it. But it was, I think this was about 40 bucks off Amazon. It is bigger, so you got to, it does spread the box out a little bit, so it's a little bit harder to get this on there. But anyway, I made it work. And then I got the little hose attachment. This seemed pretty handy. So that's really the only modifications I've done. I do have the 10 gallons of the, this is from Tractor Supply, the parts solvent, 1000. And then I'll turn this off. Just wanted to show you that's working. But this I picked up used off of Craigslist locally. The guy was moving out of state, and he said he never used it, but he did paint it. He didn't like, you know, when these came red and blue or whatever, so he painted it. But I've had it and had a hard time finding this stuff locally at our local Tractor Supply. And finally saw some come available, so I bought it, moved this in, and a couple of them, you know, put it on the little caster cart, drilled some holes and screwed it down. That's really the only mod I've done. And then of course went to plug it in, and the damn pump didn't work. So brand new out of the box. So took the pump apart to see if it was jammed up or anything, and it just wasn't spinning at all when I plugged it in and wired it up directly to the switch. So anyway, ordered the brush and the hose off Amazon. I think that was like $16, and then the pump. So all in all, these things brand new are 100 bucks. I picked it up used for 50, had to replace the pump for 40, and then added this on. So, oh, and then this broke right up as soon as I lifted the hood up. So I had to modify and use like a garden stake and bend that in for the hood. The little piece that holds this here, the spring popped out. So, and then I did put the, this does help keep the fumes down. Although this solvent doesn't have a bad smell. It's not very strong smelling, but you definitely notice a difference when you lift it up, when you lift up the hood. But the little foam strip, this was like $3 off Amazon. So I put that on there, and that definitely helps when you're not using it. So obviously you can see I have been using it, cleaning everything and all the parts, everything, cleaned the cam, cleaned the windage tray, everything down here. So oil pickup, oil pump I already took apart and cleaned. So all that stuff is pretty good to go. And then today I'll just continue on with filing the pistons. So we'll go from there. I've got one old ring set up here. We'll use this to square up the pistons. Obviously got my pliers, and then I've got, I'll set this back up in the vise, and we're good to go there. The only, I took it out so this is easier to have the micrometer in here when you're trying to zero out your bore gauge to check your clearances. So anyway, that will come out. I'll get this set back up. I'll probably just set up a little time lapse, and we will just continue on with filing the piston rings. And that'll be my project for today until waiting for the X bearings to come in, and then we'll get those in the block and see how that measures up. So anyway, that's the update. I'll run a time lapse on the GoPro and get the rings all squared away. All right, guys, thanks. All right, guys, so just getting these are out of the box. They're coming in at right at 15 thou. We want to be at 23. So I'll set up the I'll set this up in the vise, and then we'll go from there. We want to be 23. Want to be 23 on the top ring and 25 on the second. That will be for that'll be for the nitrous setting under a 200 shot. So that should be pretty close. With the with forged pistons and second, and then the oil rings I've already measured. They're all pretty good, so we won't have to mess with those. But anyway, we'll get to it. Get that set up and start filing these top rings. All right, guys, another small little issue I had was on this number 7 piston, putting the oil rings on. They didn't want to spin. They were in kind of tight, so I went ahead and these pistons have the oil ring support rail, and I went ahead and took them off, and it looked like they might have been slightly bent a little bit, so put it in the vise and kind of flattened it out, and deburred the edge of the lands right here on both sides. Took a tiny little file and just made sure there wasn't a burr sticking up that was causing a malfunction. And now they spin freely now. Of course, I can't do it real good with one hand and holding the camera, but as you can see, they spin freely now, so that's good. But anyway, one little issue I came across just trying to get this together. I've got three of them done, and got all the oil rings on. So now I'm on number 4, working on the top ring, and then the second ring will be next. But getting through it. This does okay. And then one thing, and everybody says this, but when you put the piston ring on here, always grind towards you, so the burr is on the inside. And then I just take take the file, take the little file and check, and then I use the microscope or magnifying glass and just look at the rings and make sure there's no burr there or anything. So we're making progress. We'll keep trucking. We'll get this done today. All right, guys. Well, got all the piston filing done. Everything's good to go here. All the rings are installed. So we're just waiting on bearings. Get these set. Get these bearing clearances set correctly this time, and we'll be going back together and drop it back in. So, and also I got a bunch of new microfiber towels for final wipe down and everything, and I washed them and dried them. Washed them with some fragrance-free detergent, and then dried them on low. So despite being lint-free, there does have some they do get some lint that comes off the corners. So I dried them first to get all the loose lint on a tumble dry for like a half hour, and then I washed them and then dried them again. So they should be pretty good for, again, final assembly, final wipe down of the crank and all that kind of stuff. Hey guys, and one other thing I don't think I mentioned, but I did drill and tap the front of the block instead of the pressing galley plugs. I did screw in, and also let me see which one it is. Also did the little oil squirter hole for the distributor gear, which goes in the, goes in the one behind your distributor right here. So we'll, after final wipe down, we'll install those, all screw in galley plugs front and rear, and that's it. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody checking out the video, for liking and subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one as soon as bearings come in. Thanks. Have a great weekend.